But my directional answer is a lot more.
Yeah.
We should take a lot more risk. We should be doing a lot more. And I don't know, I can go through all these different verticals. It's, if we look at biotech, something like dementia, Alzheimer's, we've made zero progress in 40 to 50 years. People are completely stuck on beta amyloids. It's obviously not working. It's just some kind of a stupid racket where the people are just reinforcing themselves. And so yes, we need to take way more risk. And you would take a lot more risk. If you have some fatal disease, there probably are a lot more risks you can take. There are a lot more risks the researchers can take. Culturally, what I imagine it looks like is early modernity, where people, they thought we would cure diseases. They thought we would have radical life extension. Immortality was part of the project of early modernity. It was Francis Bacon, Condorcet. It was, and maybe it was anti-Christian. Maybe it was downstream of Christianity. It was competitive. If Christianity promised you a physical resurrection, science was not going to succeed unless it promised you the exact same thing. But I don't know. I remember 1999, 2000, when we were running PayPal. One of my co-founders, Luke Nosek, he was into Alcor and cryonics, and people should freeze themselves. And we had one day where we took the whole company to a freezing party. A Tupperware party. People sell Tupperware policies at a freezing party.
They sell their.
But in retrospect, this was still
technological stagnation once again, right?
But it was, but it's also a symptom of the decline, because in 1999, this was not a mainstream view, but there was still a fringe boomer view where they still believed they could live forever, and that was the last generation. And so I'm always anti-boomer, but maybe there's something we've lost even in this fringe boomer narcissism, where there were at least a few boomers who still believed science would cure all their diseases. No one who's a millennial believes that anymore. There's these hopes that we could redirect the Titanic from the iceberg was heading to, or whatever the metaphor is, really change courses of society.
Through political
maybe
change.
Much narrower aspiration was that we could maybe at least have a conversation about this. When someone like Trump said, "Make America great again." Okay, is that a positive, optimistic, ambitious agenda, or is it merely, a very pessimistic assessment of where we are, that we are no longer a great country? And I didn't have great expectations about what Trump would do in a positive way, but I thought at least for the first time in 100 years, we had a Republican who was not giving us this syrupy Bush nonsense, and that was not the same as progress, but we could at least have a conversation. In retrospect, this was a preposterous fantasy. I had these two thoughts, in 2016, and you often have these ideas that are just below the level of your sort of consciousness. But the two thoughts I had that I wasn't able to combine was, number one, nobody would be mad at me for supporting Trump if he lost.